I'm Dr. Toni. Welcome to part 2 of this short little video series that I'm doing. We have part 1 and part 2. In part 1 of the video, I shared part of my story in my chapter for Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month this September of 2023. And I shared it from this book that I co-authored with 25 other wellness practitioners. And so I encourage you, if you haven't listened to that yet, go ahead and click the link below and tune into that first and share it with anyone that it might benefit. So if you are ready, we are in the second part of this video series where I'm going to share with you a 2-part tool that is completely user discretion, right? Whether or not you choose to use it, but it is something that I myself have used as well as have used with clients. And so it is something that I have found to be beneficial depending on where you're at in your journey, where you are at with navigating your emotions and the level of awareness that you have. It's going to affect different people in different ways. So take what you want, leave what you don't, but here's the tool. Part 1, Vergence. Vergence is a tool that uses the power of the brain and body connection to help calm the nervous system and promote inward soothing. I learned about Vergence through my training in brain spotting, which is an incredibly powerful method I use with clients. Brain spotting helps my clients and me to tap into the mid part of the brain, which is largely responsible for processing emotions. Although brain spotting requires a trained professional, you can use Vergence on your own from the comfort of your own home, office chair, or wherever you may be, when you're in need of easing the overwhelm that often accompanies mind clutter. Again, I want you to keep in mind that you choose to use this at your discretion and only in a way that feels safe for you. The process is simple. In fact, it might seem too simple, but there's no need to overcomplicate this process. The power of this process lies in your full attention to it. The more you practice it, the better it can serve you. I would add that the more that you are open to the possibility that it can benefit you, the more it will actually benefit you. Otherwise, if there's an internal resistance to it, that can make it more challenging. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your finger or a pen or pencil and put it upright in front of your eye line, about 8 to 12 inches out in front of your face, like so. And again, you can also just use your finger if you want, okay? Like this or like this. Grab your pen, pencil, or your finger, whatever you want to use if you choose. Gaze straight at your fingertip or the object for about 5 to 8 seconds. Take deep breaths in through your nose and slowly out of your mouth as you gaze. Now, shift your focus, shift your gaze, your visual focus, beyond your fingertip or the object, right? So if I'm looking at this here, now my eyes are going to look beyond. So not directly at the pen, but beyond the pen, okay? So you're going to shift your gaze beyond your fingertip or the object. Allow your eyes to look past your finger to the wall or area about 6 or so feet beyond it. Okay, so you start out looking at the object, and then you're looking beyond the object. Gaze there for about 5 to 8 seconds while taking deep breaths in through your nose and slowly out of your mouth. In fact, if you make noises when you breathe out, all the better. Or let the noises be weird. It doesn't matter, okay? Bring your eyes back to your fingertip or the object and repeat this process for 2 to 6 minutes or until you're feeling less overwhelmed, whichever comes first, okay? So what you'll be doing is looking at this for 5 to 8 seconds. So my eyes are converged and I'm going to look beyond it. So my eyes are verging out as I look beyond it for 5 to 8 seconds. And I'm going to go back and forth, looking at the pen, looking beyond the pen. Okay. Notice how you feel. Take notice of any shifts in your feeling state or in your body. And it's okay if you yawn or you experience some other bodily reactions during this process. It's just your nervous system doing its thing, calming. If it's helpful, you might think of your vision as narrowing and then expanding, and then narrowing and then expanding, and then narrowing and then expanding. Now, this next part of the process is not required. Okay, I'm going to walk you through the second part of this two-part tool. But I have found it to be incredibly powerful for both myself and my clients. So I do highly suggest give it a try if you're interested before deciding whether or not you are or aren't going to include it in your practice. For this next part of the process, you'll need a piece of paper and something to write with. Okay, so go ahead and grab your piece of paper. You could pause the video if you need to. It doesn't matter, lines paper, blank paper, whatever you have is totally fine. You can make it work. You're going to want something to write with. All right, so we just did part one, which is called vergence. Now we're going to do part two, which I call the control check-in. All right, all of this is going to be a benefit to help reduce that mental clutter, that inner chaos. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to draw two separate circles on a sheet of paper. All right, so I have my sheet of paper here. I'm going to draw two separate circles. One circle and two circles. Label one circle in control and the other out of control. Okay, so in control. And I'm just doing this like super willy-nilly kind of thing to show you, you don't need to be really intense about the process, really rigid about the process. You can just do this, right? Scribble on a piece of paper. As long as you know what it says, that's what matters. Thinking about the current challenge that you may be experiencing, okay, the thing that's cluttering your mind, I want you to write that in the out of control circle, okay? In the out of control circle, as you're thinking about the current challenge, you're going to write what's outside of your control about that situation. Okay, so you have this thing that's stressing you out or creating a bunch of mental clutter, making you feel overwhelmed or out of control in some way. So you're going to think about that. And then in the out of control circle, you're going to write what's outside of your control about the situation. You can pause the video and do that now. The reason I'm reading this directly from the book is so you can see, like, this is exactly what's in here. If you want to grab the book, you can grab it on Amazon. If you want to support me, you can grab the book from me specifically. Buying it on Amazon goes to the overall publisher. It doesn't go to all of the wellness practitioners because there's 25 of us that contributed to this. So if you want to support myself or one of the other practitioners in the book, you have to go to our individual links, which I will link below if you would like to do that. Okay, all right, here we go. Next, in the in control circle, write what's within your control about that particular challenge, situation, or the thing that's causing you distress. Okay, again, you can pause the video if you want to try that now, or if you want to just listen to the whole video and then come back to it, that's fine too. So in the out of control circle, write what's out of control about what's bothering you, the situation, the challenge, stress, and then in control, write was actually in control. That's it. 2 parts in 10 steps, right? Now, notice how much calmer and less stressed you feel when you look at these 2 circles. Honestly, reflectively, you review them and you consciously choose which one you're going to focus on right here and right now. Now, in the book, I say review the circles and consciously choose which one you'll focus on as you move forward. For some people, that's too far of a leap, right? It's like, I don't know what I'm going to focus on forever, right? And it can feel like that. I don't want you to think about what you're going to focus on with this particular challenge forevermore, okay? That's not, you don't need to do that. Instead, you're going to review what you wrote in these circles, and you're just for this moment, maybe for the day, maybe for the hour, maybe for the week, you pick the time frame for this period of time after reviewing these circles and doing the vergence. Choose. Which one am I choosing to focus on right here and right now? For this time period, which one am I choosing to focus on? And notice how that makes you feel. And notice if that shifts or provides any relief. And if you choose to do more vergence after that, that's okay too. Okay? Notice if you're able to think more clearly. See if the mind clutter has begun to lift, or perhaps it's cleared a lot. Notice what you've experienced here, and without judgment, allow whatever shift has happened for you to be okay. Whether it feels just a little bit or a whole ton of a bit. Let that be okay. The more you practice this, the more benefits are going to become amplified for you. Now, it's important to remember that this type of mental work is most powerful when it becomes a practice with multiple components. I've started you off in this chapter that I just read with you here with a simple foundational tool that you can use along your own journey. This tool can help you calm your nervous system in times of overwhelm. And there are more layers and levels to a long-term life-enhancing practice, which has taken me years to learn, and I continue to learn, right? That might help to continue to rewire your nervous system. I'll always continue to expand my practices and to help myself heal, learn, and grow because I'm dedicated to that journey, to that path. If you're interested in learning and mastering a broader scale practice, you can go ahead and visit any of the resources that I have on my YouTube channel. I have many of them. You could just go to actually drtoniwarner.com is probably the best place to go, because there you can see the different free resources that I have, as well as some of the paid services that I have. And if you want even more support, you can check out my best-selling book, The Reset. It's High Achiever's Guide to Freedom and Fulfillment. That is on Amazon. And I'm the only author of that book. So you can find that on Amazon there. If you have any questions or comments or points of clarification related to this two-part process, go ahead and leave them below. I welcome your contribution. I welcome your questions and comments, because I want there to be continued growth and healing for all of us, continued learning for all of us. And I believe that the whole world benefits when we all choose to dedicate ourselves to that journey. Thanks so much for being with me here today. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and push that button below, subscribe, share this video with someone that'll benefit, and I will see you next time.